Welcome to the Roody Poo crew. This is episode 1. I'm Papa Jeets. A brief introduction. I've been on YouTube since 2014, making rants, reviews, gameplays. Also been streaming for a few years now as well. And I'm a big fan of wrestling. I've been a fan probably my whole life, basically. Uh, I'm a big ruthless aggression fan as well as like Attitude Era stuff. Not to be a smark or anything, but I think you get the idea, and you'll definitely get the full picture as we go. And I have my good friend Crapper 316 Productions with me as well. Would you like to give a brief introduction, Crapper?
Yes, so I'm Crapper 316 Productions. I upload a lot of wrestling content on my channel, and basically my channel has been kind of blown up recently because of this video I uploaded about The Rock after SummerSlam 2002 when he turned heel, and that video's kind of blown up recently. So you might be coming here from that. I'm not sure. I mean, wherever you're coming from, welcome to the podcast. I've been on YouTube for probably like 7 or 8 years, probably since like 2013 when I uploaded videos, and that was on my very old account. And I have a lot of different accounts on this site. In fact, I actually met Papa Jeets through a movie review type channel called the Solo Trooper, and I have a lot of these channels in my featured channels. I mean, there's a lot of channels to keep track of, but I've been doing all types of content on YouTube. I'm kind of like the Mick Foley. I have like like a lot of different identities on the site. So Crapper 316 is my wrestling identity, and I've been watching wrestling since 2011. That's when I like fully started watching it around the time of WrestleMania 27.
Same here.
And yeah, so there's been a lot of times where I've exited the wrestling world and kind of came back into it, losing interest and then coming back into it. So that's definitely been an interesting thing. In fact, I'm kind of back into it recently again, like ever since I'd say maybe late 2019 is kind of when I got back into wrestling because sometimes you just lose interest, sometimes you just feel that wrestling energy in you again. So
And
yeah,
I feel like for a lot of people, with WWE for the longest time kind of being like the only game in town, and you just kind of having to like as a wrestling fan until AEW kind
yeah,
of came along, like just having to stomach whatever shit show product that they usually tend to put out, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm like me personally, I've actually watched a little bit more AEW than WWE. The whole like art form in general is kind of dying, especially with the pandemic going on in certain areas and restrictions that make it hard for them to make
yeah,
money through like live shows and shit like that.
yeah. For me, like I don't really watch current day wrestling. Like I mean, I used to like whenever I would watch wrestling, but recently I've actually just been watching a lot of Attitude Era stuff. Like the past 2 years, I've watched countless stuff from the Attitude Era, and then that's kind of like my thing. Like I absolutely love the Attitude Era. I think it's easily the best era of wrestling. That's really my style, and I love stars like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I love the big like superstar names, the larger than life characters. And some people might disagree with that. Some people, and this is a term that like might get on people's nerves, but I'm really not the smart type guy. I'm not a fan of like the smaller guy. I'm not saying necessarily like, oh, I don't like smaller guys. I'm just saying like smaller guys that just do a lot of technical wrestling. I don't like those type of people as champions. I'm really like a big superstar type guy.
I mean, I can agree. I personally I love good technical wrestling, of course, but I definitely am more on the end of big personalities. Guys that they might not be able to do a fucking shooting star press backwards and flip 3 times in midair, but they can tell a hell of a story when they're in the ring with you know, especially guys like The Rock, of course. Hogan, another like example, even though I wouldn't necessarily call him Attitude Era, but you get the
Yeah,
idea. I'm also like kind of on the spectrum where I wouldn't really call myself a smark. I'm sure most smarks would probably say that, but uh, I
yeah,
definitely don't like I don't know. I don't like the AEW fanboys, like the hardcore ones in particular. That'll
Yeah,
just
those are
like,
the ones I really have a problem with.
yeah, it's very fucking annoying to deal with. It's hard for me to like really stay in like the IWC or YWC because of a lot of the terrible fucking takes that people have, not only as it pertains to current wrestling, but like even past things too.